So unless you want to step out, I'm going to see. There, I think I got it. There I am. All right. I don't know.
I hope not.
There we go. Pin video. There, I'm finally getting it. Okay. Manage participants. Mute. Think I've got this. I had a little technical issue. I panicked for a few minutes, but I think I got it all. I think I got it now. All right. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Okay, I think I got it. Yay! I always joke there's a reason I teach yoga and I'm not in IT. And as always with your practice tonight, if you would like a bolster, an eye mask, a blanket for your savasana, please feel free to get one. You don't have anywhere to go at the end of class. So if you want to linger in your savasana tonight, if you want to have a meditation queued up for yourself, anything you want to meditate on or just linger on, that is absolutely okay. It's kind of nice when we can do that when we're in our own home. Now, because of my technical difficulties, I wasted a few moments, so we're going to get right into this. Welcome, everybody. My name is Michelle. We're going to do some yoga. So, as always, give yourself enough space that you can see your mat. I have something that popped up on my computer. Hang on one second here. I'm going to check this up, and I think we will be good to go. Hey, my boot doesn't come off for at least 2 more weeks. I got an X-ray last Wednesday, and my bones are healing, but they're healing slow. I've been told by a few people I'm not a spring chicken anymore. It's healing, but he said he wants to make sure, and so there's 3 more weeks yet, and then I get another X-ray, and hopefully then I'll be able to get out of the boot. But he did say the healing process is going along. So yeah, apparently all my chocolate in yoga is doing its thing. All right, so come to any comfortable seated position. I always, cross-legged. You can always sit with one leg long, whatever feels comfortable. Ground into those sits bones. Find a comfortable place for your hands. And everybody's different. Sometimes it's good to feel the hands open if your hands are always busy. Sometimes it's nice to feel that contact of your knee into your palm and the palm into the knee, or even hand into hand if you like the hands at the heart center. That's fine too. But let's settle in, take breaths, and feel what your hands are touching or what they're not touching. Think of breathing down to the bottom corners of your lungs on your inhales, and on your exhales, just let the breath leave. And feel how your body breathes tonight. There's usually a pause at the inhale and the exhale when the air stops to change directions. Can you feel that pause? How the air does. It stops and then turns around and goes the other way. Feel that movement. It's almost like a swing in the breeze or waves on an ocean. And in yoga, we can start to move with that breath, or we use that breath to help us stay focused. However you want to think of it, like with the image of your breath. Sometimes people, if you want more stability, it's growing the roots into the ground. As you breathe in, those roots grow down into the earth, and as you exhale, they just kind of curl in and hold you there. So whatever you feel like you need, whether it's stability and strength, or if it's ease of the rocking in the movement, allow that breath to start to bring that to you. And bringing your attention to your face, the corners of your eyes. Can you let the corners of your eyes relax? Let the jaw soften and down the front of the throat. Let that ease. And when you're ready, your arms come to the sides, fingertips to the floor. On your next breath in, the arms float up, and on your exhale, the arms float down. Ease into this, move at your own pace, your own speed. Start to take up a little bit of space. I want to focus on opening the chest and the shoulders, the front of the shoulders today. Being that we're spending a lot of time at home, a lot of the activities close the chest. I love to read and I love to cook, and I rediscovered my love for jigsaw puzzles, but all of that is rolled in. So feel yourself take up a little space through here, even gently through the throat, as much as it feels good on the back of your neck. And open that up. If it's a little sore, a little stiff, ease into it. Do your best to not fight with it, to kind of melt it, to kind of soften it. That's the word I'm looking for, to soften it. Let's do this about 2 more times. And the next time those arms come up, join your palms. Slide them down to your heart. Breathe here a couple times. And then the hands are going to release back behind you. Turn your fingertips left and right. Take the feet forward and wide. Let's start to warm the hip socket. So it's that easy knee sway left and right. Remember, this usually isn't that challenging or difficult. We don't need it to be in the beginning. We're just looking to warm up the legs. We're looking at to warm up those hip sockets. So again, some gentle movements, and every once in a while those hips do feel like they catch or they're tight. You don't fight with that. Ease into it. And now we are going to take those legs long. Feet slightly wide, about hip width distance apart. Let's go ahead and inhale the arms up. Exhale, right arm forward, left arm back into a twist. And inhale, bring yourself center. And exhale the other way. Right arm back, left arm forward, and inhale to center. Start twisting in at your own pace. And the same thing here, when we twist, it's very easy to want to kind of curl forwards to the best of your ability. When you open back, rather than trying to reach it forwards, back, and up. And ease into that. It's like you're sliding your hand into a glove. You don't have to shove, you don't have to push hard. It's just that easy reach back, creating whatever level of stretch feels good. Try not to be too aggressive with that on the shoulders. And really hook into the feet and into the quads. Feel those quad muscles hug your kneecaps and your femur bones. And one more on this right side. Right arm's going to reach back. We bring it up. Arms come down. Bring the feet closer together. Again, hands go behind, fingertips facing left and right, or they can face in towards your hips. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, roll that chest open. Let the head release as much as it feels good. So feel some space in the collarbones and in the throat. And this is like, when you're outside on that sunny day and you just let the sun's rays wrap you up and warm you. Let's breathe in and come and sitting into the hips. Arms come up, pull the knees in, and we come forward. Lacing the hands under the knees. Can you pull the collarbones down rather than your head? So think collarbones long and hug in here. On your next inhale, release the arms and sweep all the way up. Arms go behind you, fingertips facing left, right, or towards the hips, and opening this up. Sitting into the sits bones, arms come up. Exhale, lace under the knees. Now, as you start to warm up, we're going to do this a bunch. Feel free to bend your knees as much as you'd like, because that brings that thigh right up to your rib cage. Or you can start to walk the heels out and coming down. Whatever feels good in the hamstrings and the neck. And again, we're trying to think of collarbones a little high. On your next inhale, let's do that again. Coming up. Hands behind. Opening up. See how my elbows bend and they squeeze together in the back? And that helps that chest open, those rib cage come up and then bends over like a candy cane. Inhaling to sit into the sits bones. And exhale, let's wrap this in. Starting to warm that low back. One more time. Inhale to lengthen the arms towards the sky and the legs go long. As you exhale, hands go behind, elbows squeeze together. Same with the shoulder blades, opening in the front of that chest. Ease in the corners of the eyes. Inhale to sit into the sits bones. Arms raise up towards the sky. Let's bring them in one more time, under those knees. And feel free to rock here from side to side. Ease in, but can you feel the length coming from that tailbone up the back? So it's not just through the chin, it's through the whole length of that torso. Being a little heavy through your heels. Let's hold this for one more inhale. Exhale, unfold those arms. We're coming up, hands and knees. So let's give those wrists a little bit to warm up. So shift the weight from hand to hand. Remember, you can shake out the hands. You can circle them out. When you feel like your wrists have started to warm up, press the back of one hand into the mat. And you can check that out from side to side. See how that feels. If you're able to put quite a bit of body weight into that hand, you can do both at the same time. First, sit back into the knees. Then both hands turn under. Take a few breaths here and ease in as your muscles allow. And here you can even roll little gentle circles. Again, feeling softness around the face and the eyes, the jaw. Bring palms flat down onto the mat. If you need to, again, shaking them out or circling them. And then we're putting the hands under the shoulders and the knees under the hips into those cats and cows. So you breathe and drop the belly softly with nose and tail and exhale round. Opening up the rib cage front to back. So you want to feel like the ribs here now in the front are flailing open, making space. And then the ribs in the back are making space. We're going to make this back bend deeper, but you can stay here if you'd like. If your spine is warming up nicely, take a small step back with those knees. Fingers stay fanned out wide. Bring ourselves into an easy upward dog. Take a few breaths. Let the belly stretch, let the back gently traction. Just try not to sink down into those shoulders. Use those strong arms. Pull the elbows back into those triceps. And take a breath. And when you're ready, you turn your toes under, push back, hands and knees into that child's pose. And then forward into your upward dog. Feel free to fall into your own rhythm and your own pace. I know I tend to move a little slow, but starting now to really open the belly, the chest, slowly working your way to the collarbones. Try not to push too hard, too quick. That's why we do a lot of these. You kind of sneak up on it. And linger where your body wants to linger. Linger in that upward dog, go right ahead. If it feels good to keep moving, keep moving. Let's do two more. Last one. Let's hang out in this child's pose for a few. So settling in, knees can go slightly wide. You can walk your fingertips towards the top of your mat. You can bring the hands together in prayer and then bring the prayer hands behind your head. Whatever feels good, but we want to make a lot of space through here. So feel those ribs opening up. Breathe gently, wide left and right through your ribs, rather than up and down towards head and tail. One more breath. Let's move to hands and knees. Let's find a downward dog. So hands fan out wide, step the knees slightly back, turn the toes under. Drop that head, and you can pedal the heels. You can shift the weight around. Allow your body to start to warm up. Okay, so those strong planted hands right down to the pads, the fingertips. Your elbows are bent. Allow the head to hang. And as you stretch in the legs, you're going to feel like the stretch up the back of the legs. But also feel that there is a stretch from your big toe to the inside of your knee, and then from the inside of the knee up the inner thigh. Can we start to work with that area? It's not only in the back and the calves and the hamstrings, but in that inner portion of the leg. So bring your downward dog to center. Ground into your toes lightly. If those heels are slightly up, that's okay. But find that inner thigh stretch, that knee, that inner knee stretch. And we're gonna hold for one more breath. You're coming back down, hands and knees. You're gonna do right hand, left leg. Reaches up. We're staying on this side. Reaching up. And rather than working this hard, just start to pump blood. Get a little warm. It's kind of like warm taffy. When you pull warm taffy, it just strings out long. You don't have to fight with it. That's what we want to try to create here. Open up long and bend that back knee. Front arm goes back. Can we find that? Can we find that bind? Now, rather than sinking down, again, can we open the chest? Can we come into that chest? Pull with the foot in your hand and see if you can open through your heart. And you'll notice you rock front or back and kind of roll that around, and you'll feel that stretch kind of move through the low back, through the hip, through the belly, and the chest. Let's come to center and release this down. Hands and knees back into downward dog. Turn the toes, lengthen the legs, drop the head. And you can pedal, you can shift the weight around. Let the backs of the legs really start to open up. And that stretch again, from the big toe to the inner knee, up the inner thigh. Let's take about 2 more breaths here. And down, hands and knees, left arm and right leg. Just push blood through there, warm up the muscles. Think of stretching them out like taffy. If this side is more tippy, try not to get too rigid. Be tippy. No one can see us, right? Be a little tippy. And in lengthen out, hold for just a second and bend your back knee. Your front arm comes back. Hold it. And again, you can kind of rock a little or shift slightly, but how much can you open through the front of you? Rather, like I said, try not to sink down and in. If we can, how much can we open here? And this boot has got lots of little nooks and crannies where I can really hold in. I mean, they're heavy, but otherwise I was, at least there's one thing that doesn't suck about it. Let's release, coming down, back to downward dog. Step those knees back, turn the toes under and lengthen up. All right, grip through your fingertips. Shake your head no a few times. Sink into those toes. Can you find that stretch from the toes to the knees to the inner thighs? Take a breath, find your high plank. Take another breath into your downward dog. Now, can you really float this? Slowly move and change directions, coming into your high plank, pausing, stop completely. Feel which muscles you need to use to change directions into your downward dog. Take a breath here. Push out from the toes, from the belly, from the quads. Hold this high plank. Now, you can stay here. You can lower the knees, bending your elbows back towards your ribs. Can you put your collarbones down between your thumbs? Take a breath. Cobra. Another breath. Push into the hands. Upward dog. From here, look a little bit left. Come to center. Look a little bit right. Come to center. Let's do that a couple more times. Look a little bit left. Can you feel it moving the sides of your ribs? And over to that right side. Come to center, breathe and exhale, roll down. Turn your toes. Push your knees and your hands into the floor to lift the hips. Squeeze your elbows in like grasshopper legs. Push into the fingertips. And up. Toes turned under, downward dog. Again, you can pedal this out for a few breaths. Shift the weight around. Let the legs stretch. Think of getting into the inner portion of those legs. Big toe to knee to inner thigh. The next time you breathe in, look towards your hands. As you exhale, let's walk our feet forward into our forward fold. We're going to hang here for a bit, loosening that low back. So feel free to sway. I'm going to turn a little bit more towards the camera here. Feel free to sway left and right and let your upper body really melt. So you can hold opposite elbow with opposite hands if you'd like that. If you want a more opening through the chest and the shoulders, you can lace the fingers in the back and bring the arms over the head. If you'd like, you can lace the hands behind the calves and pull yourself down. Depends on what feels the best. Wherever you're at, breathe for me 2 more times. And then release the arms, bend your knees, roll it on up. Easy, easy, easy. Once you feel steady, inhale, arms come up. Clasp the hands at the top and sway a little bit side to side. Oh, stretching again into those ribs, making space for that heart. Come to center, release the arms down and step to the top edge of your mat. Your left foot stays, right foot steps back into a warrior one stance. So those back right toes are turning in on a diagonal. They're not completely facing out. They're turned in. Let's take those arms up. Breathe here. You see how the shoulders are sinking down? So we're not pulled in. Down. So that chest is open. Okay? Grip your front big toe, and that knee goes towards your pinky toe. Same thing in this back right foot. You're leaning into that pinky toe side. Let's take 2 breaths here. You can lift your gaze if you want. Arms come down, they lace into the back. Let's open that heart just a bit more. Ground through your toes. You feel both heels. Breathe in again. Exhale, start to lower the chest towards the left thigh. 2 breaths here. Dig into those toes. Arms strong. Let's open back up. Breath in, breath out. Arms release and up. Inhale here. You're bringing your hands down around your front left foot. Now bring up on your fingertips. I'm trying to bring my feet better. There we go. On your fingertips, and you're going to kick off your back right foot. Standing splits. Now, you see how I'm stepping my hands further away from my feet? That gives me more balance. If you want more of a challenge, get your fingertips a little closer to that foot. Drop the head. Let's see how low the head can go and how high that leg can go. You're staying here for 2 more of your breaths. Now, we're not bringing the right foot in. We're going back to warrior one. So you're going to bend your left knee, walk your hands, those fingertips towards your left foot. Set that right leg back. Huge step back. Grounded, come. And we're going to release the shoulders. So left arm comes up and back. Right arm up, back, left arm up. So a very easy like backstroke. Dig into the toes. Now you can raise the gaze as much as you'd like. One more time. Arms reach up to the sky. Breathe in. Exhale. Back down around that left foot. One more time. Standing splits. So get up on those fingertips. Get a nice stance. Kick off that right leg. Up, head low. Foot high. Breathe. One more inhale. And as you exhale, bend your left knee. Set that right foot back. Strong, strong, strong. Can you keep it long? Walk those fingertips closer to your foot. Back. Now, right knee comes down. Take a few breaths in your low lunge. You can stay here. You can walk up if you'd like. We're going to try to find the glutes. Can we squeeze our fandangos here? Walking up. Not only the left one, but particularly the right one is going to help you get a bigger stretch in the front of your hip flexor. And a few breaths here. Now you can start to play. Your arms can come up. If you want, you can bend that right knee. If you'd like, you can find that foot again. Can you keep your glutes nice and tight and strong? Chest open. One more inhale. On the exhale, we release the right leg. Breathe in. Exhale, hands down or on the foot. Breathe in again, turn that back, right foot under and lift. Left foot goes back into downward dog. Pedal this out, shake your head, whatever feels good. Letting the neck gently be tractioned by gravity. On your next inhale, looking towards your hands, coming out to your high plank. Hold here. Feel the strength in your fingertips and chest. Zipper into your belly, your inner thighs and your toes. And really not sitting back into those toes, but try to get as much into the tiptoes as your body will allow. You can stay in full plank. You can drop to knees. Collarbones go right down in between the thumbs. Let's hover in that cobra, so flatten the top of the feet. Inhale, hold right here to squeeze that low back. If you want, you can come up into that upward dog and a breath. Look right a little bit. Come center. Look left a little bit. Come center. Look right. And center and left. Come to center. Breathe in and exhale. Roll belly, chest, collarbones down. Turn the toes under, push hands and knees. Let's find a little child's pose here. So again, those hands can walk towards the top edge of your mat, or if you like, those prayer hands. Two more breaths. Feel the air change directions. Feel it come in, stop, and then go the other way. Let's pull those hands in. Let's move to hands and knees and into our downward dog. So finding that stretch again in the inner thighs, in between the toes, that line from toes, inner knee to inner thighs. Quick check in on the face, the neck. Can we let them stay soft? Inhale, look at your hands, and exhale. Let's walk those feet forward. Again, forward fold. Now you can pick the same arm placement if it felt good. If you want something a little different, like I said, you can wrap arms, the forearms into the knees or the calves, and feel free to bend the knees coming way down. You can always lengthen up and then drop in. And lengthen and drop. If you liked, remember we linked the hands, if you want to try that one. There's also framing your head with the window of your arms, holding elbows with the opposite hands. And if you've done this, usually we let the arms hang below our chin or our nose. Maybe try framing your ears or even the back of the head. But again, two more breaths wherever you're at. Feel the air come in, stop, leave, stop. Feel how it changes directions, how that stops and starts and moves. Release your arms, bend your knees slightly. Let's roll this up. Once you're ready, inhale, arms sweep up. And clasping the hands at the top. That tip. Oh, and that tip the other way. Couple more times. Space in those ribs. Come into center. Hands down. Top of the mat. Right foot stays this time. Left foot steps back into that warrior one stance. So those toes are turned on a diagonal. Remember, they're not straight out like that. You turn them in. I'm a little tippier this side, just so you know. All right, we're coming in warrior one. Front knee goes towards the pinky toe. Back foot, you're rolling into that pinky toe side. Let's bring those arms up. Open chest, open collarbones. Let the shoulder blades drop down into those pockets there on the ribs. And another breath. As you exhale, arms melt down. Hands go to the low back, fingers weave. Open up again here. Space in those collarbones. Breathe in. And as you exhale, bring the think collarbones down towards that thigh. Digging into both sets of toes. Squeezing, let's come back up. Inhale, release the fingertips and the arms come up. Exhale, hands come down around that front right foot. Fingertips spacing out so you got your balance. You're going to kick off with your left foot. Standing splits, head drops, foot lifts. Breathing. We're going to set the left foot down, nice and long and strong. So bend in the right knee, walking the fingertips in. That connection. And back up. And we're going to windmill. Remember this? Left arm up and back, right arm up and back. So we want to really make space here in that collarbones, around the sternum, around the heart. Sweep both arms up. Exhale, hands come down. Kick off that foot into our standing splits. I think I did this in the right order. I was like, oh my gosh, I think I did it different, but we did two standing. Oh yes, I did it right, because now the lunge is coming. I miss having you guys in person to help me tell my lefts and rights and to tell me when I'm out of sync. And walk your hands in slightly towards that foot. Reach that left leg long. Bend your right knee. Let's set the foot down. Take a breath. Left knee down. Lifting the collarbones there. Squeezing in the hips and starting to open in the front of that left hip. So glutes are strong. That helps protect our low back. If you want on this side, if you don't come up and take the bite, that's okay. Everything is always different from left to right. If it feels good, come up to that left right thigh. Pause here, glutes nice and tight, squeezing in. Raise the arms up. Keep breathing. And try not to rush the breath. Can you feel it stop and change directions and stop and change directions? Strong left glute. If you want, bend the left knee, reaching down. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze glutes. Keep them strong. Let's let go of the left foot and up. Hands come down. Plant those hands back. Left toes turn under. Lift the left knee. Take a breath. Right foot comes back. Downward dog. Pedal this out. Release the neck, the shoulders. Shift the hips. On your next inhale, high plank. Hold this high plank for me so your chest is on, your elbows are a little bit bent. Strong into your fingertips. Your quads are zippered and you're really into those toes. You can hold here or you can drop to knees. Take another breath. Set that chest or the collarbones down in between the thumbs. Inhale into your cobra. Hold here, or if you'd like, into your upward dog. Breath. And again, a little look left to center and right. Oh, to center and left. To center and right. Inhale, center, exhale, roll this down. Toes turn under. Push hands and knees. Child's pose. Let's twist this one. So left arm stays extended. Right arm goes underneath, twisting through. Allow the body to sink on that right shoulder. Comfortable, easy weight, compressing it down. Finish the breath you're on. That left hand, push into it. Right arm slides up towards the top of the mat. Left one comes under. Sink gently down on the way on that shoulder. Feel that compression like a hug. Inhale. Feel the air pause. Exhale. Feel it pause. Press into your right palm. Push in. Untwist. Reach both arms towards the top of the mat. For one more full breath in. Exhale. Hands slide in towards the knees. Pushing yourself up. Hands and knees coming around to seated. Feet come in front. Hands go behind. Fingertips can face in or turn left to right. But we're going to squeeze it. Open up into that chest. Or open up. Now I'm trying to get that low back a little bit strong. Coming down. Let's bend those knees and let's hug this in and round the spine. We want to think of releasing that spine, kind of rolling it forward this time. Roll up. Step the feet wide so the elbows can come to the inside, reaching in, getting a little bit of a deeper movement around that hip, the chest, the shoulders. Let's inhale, roll up. Again, legs go long, hands behind, elbows squeeze together, shoulder blades squeeze together, opening up. We're going to hold this for a little bit longer. So feeling that squeeze in between the shoulder blades, not a grip, but a squeeze, some strength there in between the shoulder blades and your arms. Let's release out. Start with the knees sliding in. We can hug underneath. Now you've got a choice here. You can take this down. See, I'm walking my feet out. And that pulls me deeper into my forward fold. You may certainly go there. Otherwise, if you liked that feeling of the feet stepped wide and the arms in, you can do this one as well. So whatever helped your low back and shoulders release the best. Staying here for one of your breath cycles. So there's that inhale, pause, feel the air change directions. Pause, we're gonna roll up. Are you familiar with fish? I'm going to show you fish. We're going to come down onto our back. Our arms come underneath the hips, so under your tail, and you scooch those elbows in and in. And we pop up onto those forearms. Knees can be bent or legs can go long. Now you really want to use your forearm bones, okay, not switch your elbows. Really push into the bones, squeeze in the shoulder blades, and then we hopefully let the weight of the head drop comfortably back. Breathing here. Can you feel your palms? Fan out. Think of fanning your fingers wide, pressing them into the floor. So you feel your palms, feel your wrists, feel your strong forearms. Try to let the windpipe let go. Take a breath in. Exhale, chin comes in. Take another breath, elbows scoot wide to come up. Take another breath. Let's pop the knees in. Wrap our arms underneath. Hold here for a couple breaths. And let's all of us walk our feet out. And then squeeze in. Can you bring the ribs down to the thighs? Maybe take another baby step out. Can you squeeze your ribs down to your thighs? Now you can keep your arms laced under your knees, or you can take them out. If you come deeper though, it's very tempting. You see how I've lifted my ribs away from my thighs? Can we keep trying to come down towards those ribs, towards the thighs? We're gonna hold here for about 3 breaths. You don't have to keep pushing deeper, just breathe. Rolling on up. Breath. Right leg is going to come forward. Left foot over the top. And we're going to see if we can start to stack the knees a little bit, but we're going to try to get a little bit of a stretch in that left hip. So you take a few breaths. Now this can be done with that right leg long, or if that hip starts to open up a little bit, we can start to pull in here, like in a cow face. Woo-hoo, that right hip is tighter walking around in that boot. Now, particularly we want to focus on this top left leg. Okay? So you're going to hold on to that left foot with your right hand and your right elbow drops in. You're going to reach behind you and see if you can find that right elbow. Take a few breaths. Now this can be done here if you'd rather. Okay? So we want, like I said, open through that chest. So you can hold here. Otherwise, I'm going to turn a little bit now so you can see from this angle. See, we got our bind. And sometimes we can start to walk that left hand down the right forearm towards the foot. And we get a little bit of a deeper stretch in that shoulder. Sometimes we can find that bind, especially if you help that left knee. You can help that left knee over sometimes, and that helps. That twist, that open. So we want to open and breathe gently into that left side. So that right leg can be long, the right leg can be turned under. You can alternate. I'm going to try a little deeper this time. Same thing, you can work that in. Now be a little gentle. These muscles are used to being in front. They're used to holding the arms in front of us. They're not used to being wrapped around behind. Be gentle. If that stretch starts to hurt a bit more than you think it should, release it. Nothing wrong with that. One more breath. You're going to softly let go. Bring the arm forward. You can do some easy shoulder rolls. Then we're going to come into our pose here. Pardon me. And again, you can have your legs stacked, or if you want, that right leg can be long. Take a breath, two. We're going to see if we can start to fold in a bit. So like I said, right leg long or fold it in. You take a few breaths, those arms can open wide. And again, try not to pull those ribs away. You can drop the heart down. That's why we open that. That helps if the arms are wide. Sometimes if we come in, it's easier to feel like we're rolling up. Now you can melt down right through the neck. Maybe shake the head no a few times. Allow some softness to creep in around the corners of the eyes, the jaw. And let's roll this up. Take a breath and unfold those legs. So now it's left leg long, right leg on top. Easing in. Remember, we're starting from square one. I know we're going to do all kinds of things, but just take a few breaths here. Maybe twist or rock this around a little bit. See how the hips feel. If you want to keep the left leg long, you can. If you want to fold that left leg under, you can. You're going to take a hold of your right foot with your left hand, and the elbow comes in towards your side. Your right hand comes in, finds the elbow. Take a few breaths here. How does the right shoulder feel? Let it start to stretch open easy. Try not to force it too fast. If you feel ready on this side, kind of adjusting with my boot. Walk down, find one of those ledges there. And now, like I said, breathe into that right shoulder, into that chest area. Ease it open. Try not to force it open. I know it's so tempting to get mad when it doesn't move, which you just stretch. But remember how much of our life is right here. Everything is right here. Not much is behind. So it's going to be tight. It's going to fight a little bit. Breathe it until it's okay. It's okay. It's okay that it's tight. It's not wrong. Tight is strength. It's strong. But every once in a while, strength can even take a break too. Let's gently ease out that right arm. Allow the flush of the blood to come through. Maybe a few shoulder rolls. See how you feel in your sitting position. Do you want to change legs, or do you want to stay stacked up? A few breaths. Those hands can walk a little wide, easing down. Think of the belly and then the ribs melting towards your thighs rather than your nose. So maybe look a little further out in front of you rather than straight down at that knee, and encourage that heart to drop down. So as you're melting, feel the air. Feel how it flows in one direction and pauses completely to change directions. Feel how when the air changes directions, it doesn't have to be abrupt, it's gentle. So allow that same gentleness when the muscles are melting. It doesn't have to be abrupt and a hard push on it. It's soft. It's kind of a slow U-turn in those muscles and in the breath. One more of your breath cycles here. Let's walk the hands in. Slowly untie your legs. If you would like to add extra layers of clothes for Savasana, or if you have a prop that you want to use for Savasana, go grab it now. We're going to come down onto our back. So we're going to start with the feet and knees together, the arms scooted a little bit away. Let's twist out that back. You can look in the opposite direction if you'd like. But think of releasing those deep back muscles around your spine. And another one, try not to force into your twist. Okay, that's why we're doing lots of them. It's just to warm up and ease into the twist. Nothing has to be pushed on. Come to center. Let the knees drop wide, soles of the feet together. Take a few breaths here. Think of making space in the hips, that the knees are lengthening away. Rather than trying to squeeze into the feet and pull in tight into the hips, think of the kneecaps lengthening out from your hip sockets. Breathe in and let's bring the knees together. Pull the knees towards the chest. Let's rock from side to side of the spine here. Feel the weight shift from one side and then to the other. And maybe the head comes along for the ride. And then you come to center and you're going to let the elbows come to the insides of the knees. Now lift the feet and you can grab your calves, your ankles, your feet, and you're going to start to coax your knees towards your armpits. And again, you can rock side to side. You can pull a little bit on those feet or wherever you're holding in. Now hold that left foot down and lengthen out on the right. Now you're going to pull that right foot down and lengthen out on the left. And play around here. Opening up the hamstrings, moving deep into the hips. Let's go ahead and lengthen both legs out. Again, you can hold on back to the calves. If you hold into the calves or your ankles, elbows pop wide. If you hold on to the top, like the tippy toes, that's when we change the grip and it comes a little bit where the elbows start to hold a little more. And let those tight tendons right in the backs of the knees there, can we let them open? And you can rock this. Breathe. So rather than trying to keep pulling your legs towards you, push the knee, like lengthen in the back here. And bend, excuse me, bend the knees deeply. Elbows are going to go back to the inside. A couple of rocks from side to side. And then we're going to release the feet. Feet find the floor. And again, soles of the feet together, knees drop a little bit wide, creating ease and space through there. On your next inhale, let's bring the knees together. You're going to step your feet really wide. And you're going to let your knees sway. So we start to open all the way up to the hip flexor and the quad there. And you may find your head rolls from side to side as you do this. And coming to center. Feet step in. Arms come close to the sides. We're going to do a few bridges here. Going up, rolling down. Try to take your time. Push your shins there and your kneecaps away from you to lengthen out. Digging into the toes and the heels and then rolling down. And then roll up. Roll down. We're going to do a few of these. This really is great for opening up and releasing in the hips, those front hip flexors. Now roll up. Last one here. And then roll up. Holding here, you're going to turn your palms into the floor. Use your elbows and your hands. Press equally through both sides to help open the chest, but lengthen, pushing the weight towards the feet. Nice belly breaths here. Feel that squeeze down the arms. And there's no weight in the head. Rolling down. Bring the knees in and rock that side to side. Now I'd like to do shoulder stand. If you don't want to do shoulder stand, remember what we did earlier? Like that happy baby, you can play around here. Or you could do bridges if you want your hips a little higher. Otherwise, with shoulder stand, is you're going to use your elbows. Okay, they're going to push into the floor really nice and hard. You get to use the momentum of the legs. So pushing the elbows, rolling up, and try to catch yourself in your low back, not on your hips. You try to get a little higher. Holding on to those, or holding through, or grounding through the elbows. And then reaching the legs up as best as they will. And taking some breaths here. Shoulder stand is not the easiest thing to maintain. So it's all right if you want to come down, knees in. That's a little easier to hold than always legs up. Or you could play one at a time. Now this is a great thing. So you know, we always talk about people want to reach the floor. My legs really aren't long enough without me hurting my neck. I could push into it, but then I got to push the weight into my head. And that's not a good idea. So some people have those lovely long legs, and their legs will touch the floor without the weight going into their neck. I cannot. So make sure you're keeping your neck safe and not putting too much weight into that neck. You can also drop a leg away. That one's a little trickier than letting the leg fall over the head. That boot is really heavy. Take a few breaths. When you're ready, arms can come down. If you want to hold on for a couple more, you can. Coming down. Pulling the knees towards the chest. Let's rock again from side to side. Maybe releasing the head. Letting the head roll in that neck twist. If you would like to use an eye mask, this is the time. If you would like to grab a blanket or any bolster, this is the time. If you would like to use the wall to sit up against, this is the time to do that. However you want. And I encourage you to feel support, like lean into something, the wall, or when you're laying down, but let there be support. And feel it throughout your body. So if you are up against the wall, feel the back of the head, the shoulder blades, the low back, and then feel how the floor comes under the hips and the legs. Take a lovely breath in, and then just feel how your lungs fill up and it just stops. And then the air comes out and it just stops. And then the lungs fill up. Flow through that cycle a few times. And your body can't help but slowly respond to your breath. Your body will soften. Follow that softening in your body. Where does it go? Where does it start? You can invite it into certain areas, and it's an invitation. You know, we all have those chronic spots that are tight. But just because we invite something doesn't mean it automatically comes. So it might not be tonight that those muscles accept the invitation of relaxation. Maybe it's tomorrow, or maybe it's next week, or maybe it's just later tonight. But to know, not all invitations get accepted, and that is okay. So where is your body accepting that invitation of heaviness, of softness? Feel that comfy weight, that gentle heaviness. Invite it to linger. And the idea of a meditation practice is that you find a comfortable sensation and you do your best to stay with that comfortable sensation. Your brain is going to bring up many, many things. Always acknowledge it. Yes, I know. But right now, I really like the way my hands feel heavy. Over and over again. That's what meditation is coming back to comfort, to ease, rather than getting caught up in what our thoughts are bringing to us. So let's practice that. Again, what is your sensation that you want to come back to? Take a breath, and it's not going to take long before the mind is going to bring something up. Acknowledge it. Yes, I know. Thank you for reminding me. But not right now. Practice that. Hear yourself. Practice coming back to comfort as many times as it takes. Take a long breath. If you want to come out of your savasana, you can. If you want to stay, you may stay. If you want to add gentle bits of movements to your body, and easy, come up to seated. Try not to force, move too fast. Take your time. Use the strength in your hands, pressing yourself up. And then bringing your hands together to prayer. Lift the thumbs to your forehead. I wish you peaceful thoughts. Let's bring the thumbs to the lips. I wish you peaceful words. Lower the thumbs to your heart. I wish you peaceful actions. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here. Enjoy the rest of your evening.